Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. McClelland, and today I'm not going to tell you exactly what you're going to be doing just yet. I want you to do a bit of detective work and see if you can work it out. I'm going to show you a video, and I want you to see which part of this video links to our topic this week of patterns. Can you see something about pattern in this video? It's only short, and then I'll come back to you and tell you a bit more about it. So we'll pop that on now.
Snow usually falls in winter, when it is very cold. It forms when the temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius, also known as the freezing point of water. This causes very small drops of water in the air to freeze into ice crystals. And when these ice crystals bump into one another, they stick together and form snowflakes. It can take a long time for a snowflake to fall from a cloud to the ground because they are so light. The journey could take 1 hour. If the ground is cold enough when snowflakes fall, they stick and don't melt. We say the snow has settled. A covering of snow can make everything look white and bright. A blizzard occurs when lots of snowflakes fall during a time of strong winds. It can be difficult to see between the snowflakes, so it's best to stay inside during a blizzard. We are able to measure how much snow is lying on the ground using a ruler. The deepest snow ever recorded in the UK was an enormous 1 metre and 65 centimetres deep. It fell in North Wales during the very snowy winter of 1947. To measure that, we need a very long ruler.
So that was just a short video. Did you have snow during the holidays? I had some snow at my house. It's nice to see it and get out and about in it. Did you spot the thing about patterns? It was very subtle, quite small. It's all about snowflakes today. Snowflakes all have a unique pattern, and I'm going to show a presentation to you which will explain more of that. And also you're going to be making your own snowflakes and make them look like ice crystal-y patterns as well today. So, snowflakes. In nature, all snowflakes are different, but they have a regular pattern which is always six-sided or has 6 points because of the way that they are formed. The molecules in ice crystals join to one another in a hexagonal structure. Remember, a hexagon is a 6-sided shape. Ice is just water, a different form of water. You may have heard of water as being H2O, hydrogen and oxygen molecules. The way they're joined together makes this hexagonal structure. Today, you're going to learn how to make salt crystal paper snowflakes. Hopefully they'll look as pretty as these ones here on the screen. You're going to need some equipment. So this is what you'll need. You can stop the video and then you can go and get what you need so you're all organised. The first part of it, you will need just some white paper and some scissors. Your best sort of paper is just like photocopy paper. It needs to be quite thin paper. Thicker paper isn't good for this because it's difficult to cut when it's been folded. Later, you'll need some hot water, a cup and a spoon, and a plate. Sounds like we're going to be baking, but you're not. You're not going to be eating anything this time. So stop the video so you can get yourself organised and then come back and we can follow through the steps to show you what you need to do. Are you all organised now? So what you're going to need is a square of paper. So to make a square of paper, fold one corner over to the other side and line them up. And then you'll have a rectangular strip along the edge. Just cut this off and you'll be left with a square of paper. So if you had photocopy paper, it would have started life as A4. Fold it over and make that square. Then what you're going to do is fold the square in half diagonally and then fold it in half again. I've got a piece here that I've folded up. So I'm going to unfold it and hold it up. So here's my square. You have to fold it in half diagonally. So now I've got a triangle. And then fold that in half again. So now it's a quarter of the original size. Okay, can you see that? Then what you have to do is fold it into thirds. Now that means 3 equal pieces. This is quite tricky. but try and get it as even as you can, because this will be the 6 points of your snowflake. So you need to fold over and over again. So you end up with a piece like this. So it's not a triangular shape anymore. It's got a couple of points at the top. Okay, that was my 3 pieces. Then what you have to do is to cut out shapes to make your snowflake. You've probably done this before when you've been making Christmas decorations or just snowflake decorations. So from either side of the piece, you can cut out triangles, you can cut out curves. The steeper the point at the top here, it will make more distinct 6 points that you have for your snowflake. So just have fun. Cut out the pieces. Try not to cut too far or you'll end up with it all falling apart. So cut it out so that then when you open it up, you've got your 6-pointed snowflake. When you've done that, you're onto the cooking part, which isn't really cooking because you're not going to do any eating. You're going to have to make a solution of salty water. And this is what's going to make your paper snowflake look like it's made out of ice crystals, not made out of paper. So if you get your salt and you mix 2 or 3 teaspoons of salt in a cup with just enough hot water to make the salt disappear, to make it dissolve, stir it up. The water doesn't need to be boiling water. It can just be hot water from the tap. And the salt will disappear. You now end up with what we call a salt solution. It's very, very salty water. When you've done that, put your paper snowflake onto a shallow plate. Pour the salty solution over it, but just enough to cover it. You don't need to fill the whole plate with water. You might want to make quite a few snowflakes and have them sitting like this. You'll have enough salty water to cover them all. Then put the plate somewhere safe and warm so the water will evaporate. You're going to have to be a little bit patient, depending on how warm it is. It may take a day or 2 for it to all disappear. And then let's see what we end up with. The water will have disappeared. It's evaporated. So it's become water vapor again. And that just leaves the salt, which was dissolved, now forms back into crystals. There'll be tiny cube-shaped crystals and they'll stick to the top of your snowflake. So it looks really pretty and it looks like it's made out of ice. You just have a look. Here's another one that you can see. So this is a great thing to do. You're learning about salt solution. You're learning about the shape of snowflakes, and you also end up with a lovely crystally snowflake that isn't going to melt. So have fun with this. I hope it goes well, and maybe you'll share some of your salty snowflakes or icy snowflakes with me later in the week when they have been produced, because obviously we have to wait for the salty water to dissolve. Come back to me. So hopefully you can follow the instructions. Obviously you can stop the video at any stage and go back and see what you need to do. It may take a few attempts to get a beautiful snowflake that you're looking for. And mixing up that salty water, be careful. It's definitely not something you want to drink. It's very, very salty and wouldn't taste nice. But once the water evaporates, you'll get those lovely salty crystals. And let's see how it all works out. Good luck.